Hello everyone, back tuning into today's second video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's second video. Day 10 will take us to the 10th of November, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with GFS and ECM Ensembles. Maybe I'll try in a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the next 4 weeks, and we'll bring you up to date with all of the latest with Storm Ciaran. I should get on that for you in a moment. Just to say that first, the video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. So we're going to be live at 6 PM, hopefully. So I just better explain about that before we go on any further. So we did actually do a live stream last night, albeit it only lasted for 9 minutes. Most of it was centered around everyone scratching their heads and wondering why there was so much lag and buffering going on. It became impossible to do it, if I carried on with it. I was getting lagging in the control room on the live stream myself, so I could see something was very, very wrong with the stream. And if I carried on with it, the live chat would have just been filled up with people saying that they couldn't watch, and wondering what was happening. So the upshot was, after 9 minutes, I abandoned the stream. First time that's ever happened since I've done this, actually, in 2019. I've never had to abandon a live stream. Had a couple of occasions when I couldn't start off, when Streamlabs wouldn't work back in the day, when I was doing something wrong, I suspect. But I've never actually had to abandon a stream. So that is an absolute first in all of these years of live streaming. Anyway, the upshot of it all is, we're going to have another go tonight. It was a YouTube-wide outage, I think, that was going on, a YouTube-wide issue. Many streams of videos and things were being affected by it yesterday. As it was YouTube-wide, I assume they'll have got their technicians onto it, and things will have been resolved by now. So we're going to have another go at 6 PM. We'll discuss the epic 9th Winter 2023-24 update that we released yesterday, this evening at 6 PM. We'll have a look at the 12Z model runs as well, and we'll look at the long range that we were going to look at yesterday from the CFS and from Copernicus. So I'm so sorry, everybody, that happened, but it was out of my hands, just one of those things. And I say, I've never had that in all these years of doing this in 2019, so it was a true one-off. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everything will be resolved for us tonight, and we can go live at 6 tonight, so I should see a little bit later on for that one. Right, okay, let's deal with your 10 to 14 day. Let's do that then. So we've got lots of weather warnings in force for Thursday. Let's go back to the amber warning, because actually there's an amber warning appear this morning for Northern Ireland. This heavy rain will lead to flooding and transport disruption. That's about till 9 AM tomorrow. So already, the very wet spell continues, but it really is like Thursday that we're worried about. We've got multiple weather warnings already, yellow warnings, and we've got a wind warning here from 9 PM Wednesday to 1 minute to midnight on Thursday. Very strong, potentially damaging winds associated with Storm Ciaran are possible on Thursday. At the moment, not saying too much about it, but it is a couple of days away, so I would expect those warnings to be updated, maybe expanded, we'll see in the coming days. This is a facts chart for the UK Met Office, or from the UK Met Office, for midnight on Wednesday. This is the human interpretation of models by the forecasters at the UK Met. There's Ciaran down there. That's midday Wednesday, so midnight Thursday, Wednesday to Thursday. Look how that low pressure is deepening like mad to our southwest, sending these weather fronts northwards, so there'll be a lot of heavy rain associated with them, but the strongest winds will be on the southern and western side of below, as always. And as we go through to 84 hours, which will be midday Thursday, that's the fact chart looking at. So, of course, in the centre below, winds are light, and we're in quite a large centre with this one. So, for many parts of England, whereas actually winds will be relatively light on Wednesday, albeit it will be very wet. To the north, it looks quite windy and wet with that clear front, but to the south, that's where the strongest winds are, I think, and they're particularly going to be affecting, or potentially they'll be affecting far southwest of England through the Channel, along the south coast, and then to the extreme southeastern corner. Now, as the low moves are, by 96 hours, or 120 hours, okay, so as the low moves off, you'll get a pull of strong winds then across the whole coast. So the strongest winds will gradually migrate northwards and eastward, but I think the worst of it will be down across most southern counties. If we have a look at a couple of high-res models, so let's have a look at a page for wind gusts, see how that one is looking. This came from the Weather Outlook. So this is Wednesday evening, Wednesday night. You can see strong winds then into the south and southwest. So it appears to be going for like gusts along the south coast in the channel of around 60 to 70 miles an hour. So a couple of nights ago, UKV run go for like over 100 mile an hour gusts. That's been toned down, I think, certainly with a page anyway. But nevertheless, 70 to 80 mile an hour, still very, very disruptive, potentially, for both southern counties and down into the southwest as well. The strongest of winds you'll notice is migrating into the far southeast corner. So widespread wind gusts through the early hours of Thursday, like up to 50 mile an hour, 56 mile an hour gusts across England and Wales. But the far southeast corner goes in excess of 70 miles an hour. And then through Thursday, well, of course, the centre of below starts to move in across the country. No, the winds actually fall light into the centre of below during Thursday morning, but very, very strong winds down in the far southwest, 80 mile an hour gusts through there, and 80 to 90 mile an hour gusts through the channel, albeit that's off the coast, and in the extreme southeast corner still going up to 80 mile an hour gusts there. So through the Dover Straits, for example, 80 to 90 mile an hour gusts was very, very, very significant. And so the far southwest through the channel, potentially affecting the south coast, in this extreme southeastern corner. And as the low moves off, of course, the wind gets up everywhere. So the very worst of winds then move off into the North Sea, but the wind then gets up everywhere through Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, as the low pushes off into the North Sea. That's our pairs, right? We can also have a look. Where am I going? Well, there we go. So we can also have a look at Icon. See how that one's looking. We'll have a look at this again tonight, by the way, on the live stream. Where am I going with that? Right, I should have got these up there, shouldn't I? Want to go there, want to go there, and then we want to go there. Right, this is Icon again. Very strong winds about far southeast corner 9 a.m. on Wednesday. Strongest of winds then moving along the south coast. So in the channel again, going for over 100 mile an hour gusts there with Icon DWD. And then strongest of winds into the south. So again, it's those southwestern and southern coastal areas through the channel and into far southeast. It gets the worst of the winds in the early hours of Thursday, and then pretty windy everywhere. But that does look quite horrendous there through the channel, I have to say. And, of course, affecting the Channel Islands as well. Right, and then we'll also have a look at UKV, and then we'll move on. So we'll have a look at these again tonight, of course, during the live stream. This isn't the final say on the matter by any means, but here we go then with Icon. So again, we see gusts in the channel on the south coast of 70 to 80 mile an hour gusts really in that far southwestern corner and along the south coast as well. And then into Thursday morning, that's when the worst of the winds are through the channel, in excess of 90 mile an hour gusts there through the channel. Possibilities there of a 100 mile an hour gust, I think, somewhere through the English Channel, also into the far southwest and far southeastern corner with those very, very strong storm force winds. Really windy everywhere, by the way, through across England and Wales. I mean, on Wednesday night, just 40, 50 mile an hour as well. So we concentrate on the worst of the gusts down south, but, you know, it's going to be a windy night everywhere, but the worst of it is in that extreme southeastern corner. And then as we go through into Thursday, the strongest of winds migrate way into the North Sea. As the low pushes up, and it's pretty windy everywhere before things start to calm down a little bit for Friday. It looks significant, looks disruptive, so watch this space, and as I say, have another look later on the live stream. Right, got two interest areas in the tropical Atlantic now. We've got disturbance 1, that's got a 20% chance of cyclone formation in the next 2 and 7 days. I've got disturbance 2 with a 10% chance of cyclone formation in the next 2 days, a 50% chance of cyclone formation in the next next 7 days. So we'll keep an eye on that. Central temperature has ticked down a little bit more. We're now sitting at 12.3, which is 1.8 degrees above 61 to 99 average. That's visual to yesterday, to the 29th of October. We think that's probably going to finish up at 12.2 by month's end, which of course is tomorrow. These were GFS upper temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London. We're starting off around average at the moment, a little bit up and down, but around average with the upper air temperatures, probably a little bit above both in terms of surface temperature, given that it's a mobile pattern, so we won't have any cold nights. Again, cooler than average through the first week of November, so anytime from around the 5th through to around the 12th or 13th of November, then we have below average temperatures before we see the upper air temperatures lifting back up closer to normal. Precipitation-wise, yes, there's going to be large precipitation spikes to come. So plenty of wet weather over the next week, definitely, and even into the second week of November, actually looking quite wet then. So plenty of rainfall spikes from beginning to end. The deluge goes on. Temperature anomalies from the 30th of October, 7th of November, a little bit above average himself, near a normal further north. Precipitation anomalies from the 30th of October, 7th of November, wetter than average, especially so for England and Wales. The latest Windflow Map from earthnullschool.net shows that low pressure is in control of weather. I reckon that might be Ciaran down there already. I think that could be Ciaran. But anyway, lots of low pressure in the Atlantic. We've got a low here, we've got a low there. There's an active weather front coming through there, and there's a low, as I say, down there as well. So plenty of low pressures lining up. Right, let's go through chart data there. This is how the latest UK Met Euro run. It's looking big night on Thursday. A developing area of low pressure storm Ciaran moving in from off the Atlantic with strong of winds on the southern western side of that low. We've already had a look at the potential wind gusts with that. By midnight on Friday, Ciaran is sitting right over the top of the country, starting to move out into the North Sea. And as we go through into Saturday, well, Ciaran's gone off into the North Sea, but we've got another low waiting in the wings, and that could give us a washout on Saturday as that low pushes through, keeping the very unsettled and cyclonic weather going throughout the weekend. We finish up midnight on Monday looking like that, so still very unsettled then. I can't, again, with this deepening area of low pressure coming in from the Atlantic overnight Wednesday into Thursday. That is Storm Ciaran. By midnight Friday, Storm Ciaran is moving off into the North Sea and taking the worst of its winds with it. Into Saturday, another developing area of low pressure, which won't whip itself but into a frenzy like Ciaran, but will bring further heavy rain through Saturday, pushing across the country. Maybe some quite strong winds with that as well, but I think the main thing for Saturday will be the rain, and then that gets out of the way. And we're left in a showery, sort of west-northwesterly type flow right the way up to the end of the icon row, and gets us to a week today, Monday, 6th of November. This is how the GFS midnight run is looking. All much of a muchness with Storm Ciaran. It looks like we've pretty much narrowed down the track of this storm now. So into the southwest approaches midnight on Thursday. Strongest of winds are on the southern and western side of that low, of course. Luckily, we've got quite a big centre for the low, so actually there is a large area with relatively light winds, but the strongest winds will be to the south and west of the low, and then a push of strong winds on the east side of the low as it clears away into the North Sea. So eventually Storm Ciaran gets up into the North Sea and pulls down these northwesterly winds. Another low pressure coming in for the weekend, threatening a very wet day potentially on Saturday, and then we head on into next week. We're still looking unsettled then, but the low pressure eventually by day 9-10 starts to move up towards Scandinavia. A ridge begins to build to the northwest. That starts to bring something a little bit colder and drier in from the north, actually, there. Beyond that, we can see that high pressure then starts taking over. So quite a significant change with the GFS midnight run as high pressure builds over to the east country. That looks like it could be quite a cold ridge, I have to say. That might deliver overnight frost and fog and whatnot. Eventually, that ridge begins to weaken off, and lower pressure starts coming back in southwest. So it is only a short break to something drier and colder, but nevertheless, that might deliver our first sort of widespread frost of the season. By the end of the GFS midnight run, we're back to unsettled weather again. Low pressure has taken over once more. The GFS. So where are we going with my tabs? Hold on, everybody. I've not got what's going on there. So hold on, everybody. I'm gonna hold on. Hold on, everyone. I've got to get the charts back up. Okay, there we go. Gav. Right, here's the 6Z from the GFS. Again, we're starting on Thursday. Best Storm Ciaran moving into the southwest of the country. Again, strongest of winds around the edge of Storm Ciaran on the southern and west side. And then very unsettled weather continues throughout Thursday into Friday. Another low comes in from off the Atlantic, that brings further heavy rain into the south, and the unsettled weather carries on throughout the weekend into next week. Again, next low coming in, that's into Tuesday, so that bringing more wet windy weather with it. It looks really unsettled all the way up to day 10, which is the 9th of November. So, yes, looking very, very, very unsettled then. Heading on into the more extended range, where high pressure rain starts to take over from the north. We turn things drier and colder, I think, as we go through the second week of November, putting in an easterly wind, which will have a chill to it. That high pressure could deliver some frosty nights as well. Now, eventually, just a little bit of a hint of retrogression of the high pressure trying to pull out toward the northwest. Doesn't complete it and become a blocking feature around Greenland, but yes, a little bit of a hint of retrogression. Looking drier and colder here through the second week of November with that high pressure out to the northwest, bringing those winds from the northeasterly direction. And then we've got GEM again. By the way, if you enjoyed the video, please you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much to everyone for doing that. We just hit 17.1k, so we've got our first 100 within 17,000 in the bank. If you could give us another sub and tell your friends about it, subscribe, we're going to push on 17.2k next. We never stop the bandwagon rolling at GavsWeatherVids. GM again with Storm Ciaran moving in from the southwest on Thursday, heavy rain with it and very strong winds too, and then into the weekend looks really unsettled. Well, low pressure continuing to drive through across the country, heading up towards day 10. So yes, we keep it unsettled and eventually start bringing in something a little bit cooler to the north as well. Jet stream is southwest-northwest aligned here, or northwest-southwest aligned, I should say. So see the black line, that's a rough position for jet stream. See how that's on a northwest-southeast trajectory. Though cold air could dig in at times with these areas of low pressure. The potential is there to go further on through November. And then the east shape looks like that. Again, we've got Storm Ciaran to our southwest on Thursday, bringing severe gales or storm force winds into the channel and a very wet, windy day through most parts of the country. Storm Ciaran so sitting around the country all the way up to midnight on Friday, gradually moves off into the North Sea, but another developing low heads in for Saturday, potentially giving a very, very wet day on Saturday, particularly for England and Wales. That gets out of the way for Sunday, but we're left with these showery northwesterly winds, and on it goes. Eventually, though, the low pressure shifts off to Scandinavia, heights begin to rise in the Atlantic, and we start to bring in something a little bit colder from the north via that ridge out to the northwest. So eventually by day 9 and 10, turning drier, but also turning a little bit colder too with the east sham. However, there is more low pressure in the Atlantic. Got another big low there to the south of Greenland, so I suspect that would bring further unsettled weather with it. Bishop of Precipitation Forecast based on that ECM run from Tometeo.com. No, plenty of showery conditions to come over the next couple of days. A batch of wet weather pushing across the country as we head into Wednesday as well. And then Wednesday night into Thursday, here comes Storm Ciaran, of course, with all of the heavy rain and gales and severe gales too. Through the middle part of next week, very, very unsettled conditions and further wet weather likely into the weekend. That Saturday, thoroughly wet day for England and Wales then. Showery further north. That's Sunday. Again, looking showery. Yet today 10, so that's going a little bit dry, but still plenty of showers around those coastal regions in particular. These are the options on the table within the ECM Ensembles today for day 10. Gets us to the 9th of November. Whoops, my line went askew. 23 members of the ECM Ensembles with high pressure ridging up from the southwest. Low pressures away to the east and winds coming in from the northeast. So a little bit drier and colder there at day 10 with that one. 14 with low pressure right over top the coast. That's going to be very unsettled. And another 14 with high pressure building towards Iceland, actually, low pressure to the south. So that's drier and colder as well, with winds coming in from the northeast. Maybe we're going to turn things a bit colder into the second week of November. In 2 weeks' time is the options that we've got. Gets us to the 14th of November. 21 members of the ECM Ensembles are still very unsettled, with deep low pressure in from off the Atlantic. 12 with deep low pressure over the top of the country, so they're both very unsettled options. 11 has high pressure just to our southwest, so that's drier and bringing the wind from off the Atlantic. It should be relatively mild. And then 7 with high pressure just to our north, and around that we will be bringing the wind from potentially quite a cold or chilly easterly direction. CFS Weeklies finally meets the 500 millibar height and orange breakdown to week periods. The first week period takes from the 30th of October to the 5th of November. The coming week has low pressure dominating over the country. Going to be very unsettled in weekend. Week 2 is also looking unsettled. It's the 6th to 12th of November. Again, deep low pressure over the top of the UK and Western Europe. Week 3 going to be the 30th to the 19th of November, still with low pressure driving in from the outside. Notice all the time there's high pressure lurking to the north, so quite a strong blocking signal away to our north. And then finally, week 4, this one's quite interesting. It's the 20th, 26th of November. High pressure then from the north, reaching south into Scandinavia. I reckon that could well be time to get wind into a northeasterly or an easterly direction, so that will be going drier and colder, I think, there as we go through into the last 10 days or so of November. Long way off, though. We'll have to wait and see how that works out. Before then, very unsettled. Right, we're done. If you've enjoyed this video, please you like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. Why don't drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. And we're going to be back at 6 o'clock. I'm going to try and do another live stream. Hopefully that one will go all right. And we'll be able to have a chat about the 9th winter update. Have a look at the 12s there. Have a look at the latest, of course, on Storm Ciaran, and show you the long range that I was going to show you yesterday from CFS and the Copernicus suite of models. Keep your fingers crossed that they're buying out all of their problems from yesterday. Okay, we'll see you a little bit later. I'll just take coming up tomorrow. I have a 6 AM UK weather forecast, the EC30 day, and there'll be a 10 to 14 day as well. So do keep checking back to the channel for more content. I'll see you later on, all being well. And enjoy the rest of your Monday afternoon. Bye for now.